All right, so I just started our recording for our buddies who are not present. And I have you guys on a little skinny laptop over there. Okay, so let's start sitting. Oh my God. And let's bring our heels as close to the pelvis as we can so that the tops of your feet are close to the floor and your heels are close together, and you'll potentially have quite a big surface area on the ground so that you can feel very stable. If this does not work for you, do something else with your legs. And let's just close the eyes and take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Just think of the breath as an elevator, and it's a smooth ride from your tailbone all the way up the spine, all the way out through the top of your head, and it's a smooth ride down again. In a moment, we're going to take a different form of breath where we ride the elevator, but we pause at each floor for a moment. And those floors will just be the chakra points, the main chakra points. So just take one more smooth breath so that we all get on the same pattern of breath. Inhaling all the way to the top. Just hold for a few seconds at the top, and then a slow exhale. And it's in and out through the nose. And we'll just sip in a tiny bit of air from the tailbone to the pubic bone, from the pubic bone to the belly button, from the belly button to the heart center, from the heart center to the throat, from the throat to the third eye between the brows, from the third eye to the crown of the head. Hold for a few seconds. Just a smooth ride all the way back down. We'll do that same thing again, from the tailbone to the pubic bone, from the pubic bone to the belly button to heart center to throat, throat to third eye to crown of head. And the slow descent when we ride the elevator down. For this particular pranayama, we won't be stopping at any of the floors. And one more time, starting from the tailbone, sip in the air to the pubic bone. Pubic bone to belly button to heart center. Heart center to throat, throat to third eye to crown of head. Slow exhale all the way back down. Let's just start to blink the eyes open. We'll make our way to tabletop. And whenever you get there, just spread the fingers, make sure your wrist creases are parallel to the top edge of your mat. On your inhale, arch, pull the chest through, arms straight. Exhale, round. Drop the chin toward the chest. Inhale, let the sitting bones separate, releasing Mula Bandha. And exhale, draw the sitting bones toward each other, finding Mula Bandha. Inhale, arch, and draw the belly button back toward the spine as you exhale, Uddiyana Bandha. Inhale to arch, this time press to downward dog for your exhale. Feel free to stay there, or rock forward to plank, inhale, and press to down dog again, exhale. Few more breaths, either staying in dog or moving forward or back. Those of you who are moving forward and back, notice how the weight changes in your hand. Notice if you're having a harder time keeping your arms straight at any moment of this vinyasa. Vinyasa just means moving with breath, assigning each breath to a movement. So we have that one that we say, do a vinyasa, and that would mean the chaturanga, up dog, down dog thing. But that's just a common one. Really, anything can be a vinyasa. So let's all meet in downward dog. Shake out your head and start to walk your feet forward toward your hands. When they get there, inhale to fingertips, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up. Inhale, belly in. Let's bring the right knee toward the chest, hands to prayer. Exhale. Inhale, foot down, arms up. Left knee up toward the chest. Right leg very straight. Exhale. Inhale, foot down, arms up. And fold, exhale. Keep the belly in so your back feels safer. Inhale, halfway up. And step to plank, exhale. Let's just lift the right leg up a few inches. And then lower it down again. Lift the left leg up. And lower it down again. One more time each side. Notice how when the right leg's up, the left leg is working really hard. Change sides. Now the right leg is working really hard. Lower that left foot. Inhale and plank. Exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Shake out the head. Feel free to stay here. Or inhale forward to plank, like you did before, straight arm plank. And exhale to down dog B. Squeeze your forearms in, come to the elbows, push your chest toward your legs. Inhale to straight arm plank. Rock your weight forward. Exhale to down dog B. Press your weight back. So as you inhale to that straight arm plank, you're pulling with your fingers. And as you go to down dog B, you're pushing with your fingers. Just do it one or two more times. We're going to meet in a regular straight arm downward dog. So you can decide how you get there. You can go from straight arm plank to get there. Or you can go to down dog B and then press your chest closer to your legs so you can straighten your arms again to down dog A. Shake out your head. And we'll start to walk the feet forward toward the hands. When you get there, inhale, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Rise up, inhale. Bend the knees, Utkatasana. Exhale. Let's straighten the legs. Samasthiti. And return to Utkatasana. Knees bend, arms up. And as you do this, just pay attention to the rotation in your shoulders. So when we reach up, our pinky fingers magnetize toward each other. And when we straighten the legs, let's just place our palms on the thighs, on the side of the thighs. Inhale, palms are going to reach up and connect, potentially. Exhale, arms by the side. So it's a really big shoulder rotation in order to get your palms all the way together. Just take one more. We're going to meet in Utkatasana. And if your hands are not together, it's fine. They can be shoulder width. Just look up and try to get your shoulders to rotate in such a way that your pinky fingers are moving in. Your palms are starting to face a diagonal back. Now let's fold straight legs. Exhale. Halfway up. Inhale. And step back. Plank. Exhale. We'll just lift the right leg somewhat off the ground. Swing it out to the side. Tap the ground. And then swing it back again. Left leg up, swing it out, tap, and swing it back. One more time, right leg, and one more time, left leg. And from your regular plank, exhale to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. So make a choice. Do you want to stay in a straight arm dog? Do you want to go to down dog B, or do you want to go to Baddha Shirsasana A, which is headstand with the fingers interlaced? So if you want that, you lower to your elbows, interlace your fingers, press into the edge of your hand and your wrist, walk your feet in until at some point your feet start to lift. Your legs do not have to go all the way up. The hardest part is the bottom 12 inches. Just getting the toes to lift at all. Those of you that decided to go up, try to come down the same way. You go through dolphin, which is just with the head off the ground, the feet down. And we'll separate the hands long, meet in a straight arm downward dog. And shake out the head. Okay, start to walk feet forward. Eventually they'll be toward the top of the mat. Inhale whenever you get there. Fold, exhale. Bend into the knees, Utkatasana, inhale. And sit into your version of a squat. And this is going to depend on your knees and your ankles. If possible, keep your heels down. But for some folks, your ankles are not quite so flexible. So you might be able to get your butt close to your heels, but that means your heels are up. So you can kind of decide which is better for you, heels up or heels down. So we'll go from our lowest point in the squat all the way to Urdhva Hastasana. So we'll press into the feet and just lift the arms up. Exhale all the way down to your squat, whatever that is. Round it back. And inhale all the way up. 2 more times. So pay attention to your weight distribution. If you're going low in your squat, keep pressing your knees together. That's going to help you keep the weight centered. We're just going to meet with straight legs, arms up, and then we'll fold, exhale. Halfway up, inhale. Stepward jump, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right leg up high, inhale. Step to the hands, exhale. Right leg up high again, inhale. Exhale to step forward. We'll do that once more. I don't care how far forward your right foot goes, but I want you to make sure your palms stay down. None of this wrist lifting business. Okay, so when that right foot is forward, left knee down, hands to that right knee or thigh. Anjaneyasana. Take one more breath here, sink your hips. We'll place the fingertips down, curl the back toes, back knee up. We'll inhale to straighten the right leg, some amount. Exhale to bend it again. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Simple twist. Left hand down, right hand up. Gaze up if you can. Press into the big toe mound of your right foot so your knee stays right over your ankle. Okay, slowly untwist. Step back, vinyasa. That would be just the chaturanga up dog, down dog form of vinyasa. Okay, so right leg again, we're just going to lift it up behind us. And like we did from plank, we're going to swing it out to the side. And you'll just be able to see your toes kind of come around your periphery vision a bit. Let's swing it back again. When it's facing, or when it's reaching back, the kneecap is facing down. And lift the hip a bit, swing the leg to the side. Now your kneecap is facing the same way as your fingers. One more time, swing it back. Press your heel back. And then open the hip so you can swing it to the side. Try to lift it up a little higher. And swing it back again. and just lower the foot. Okay, left leg up high. Inhale, we're just gonna step the foot forward to the hands. Exhale, keep the arms straight. Inhale, leg up. It's fine if the foot does not get all the way forward. Just go as far as you can. Last time, inhale. And step forward, exhale. Right knee down, we hang out for a sec in Asana. Jules, where's Miss Sally? She's not there. She's in some other room. Okay, fingertips down. Curl the back knee or back toes. Whoop, lift the back knee. Inhale to straighten the left leg. Exhale, bend. And again, inhale. And exhale. One more time. Right palm flat. Roll the shoulders back. Lift the left arm. Look at that left thumb. The way you know if your left foot and knee are lining up is you will feel a stretch in your left hip. If you're allowing your left knee to run away from the midline, you will avoid that stretch. Okay, let's slowly unravel. Step back, vinyasa. From downward dog, lift the left leg up high. I'm just going to face this way for the sake of the camera. We'll have the kneecap facing down. And when you're ready, swing the leg out to the side so the kneecap faces front. Swing it back again and out to the side again. One more time. Notice how much work your arms are doing to press your chest back. Okay, now we'll just lower that left foot. Nice normal downward dog. Let's lift heels up high, inhale. Bend the knees, exhale, look forward and jump. Inhale when you get there. Fold, exhale. Bend into the knees. Lift the arms, inhale. And let's lower the fingertips down and lower our butts down. Just as low as our butts can go. Take a moment here. Notice how hard it is to squeeze your knees in. Okay, lean forward. Separate your feet a little wider. I'll just face this way, but you're fine as is. Heels in, toes out. Right shoulder inside of right knee. Open up the arms. Lean back. Don't let this left knee drop in. Your right knee won't drop in because your shoulder is there to block it. If you want, you can bind this. Pretty early to bind, but who knows, maybe you can. And slowly unravel whatever you have, and we'll just try the other side. Left shoulder is going to slide inside the knee. Open up the arms. Look over that right shoulder, so you just increase your twist a little bit and potentially bind it. The lower you drop your butt here, the easier it is. But you have to listen to your knees and ankles when you're deciding about that. Okay, slowly unravel. Bakasana. So we'll bring our hands down about 12 inches in front of the toes, knees toward armpits, and start to rock forward. At some point, your toes will get off the ground. And bring the inner edges of your feet together. Gaze forward. And when you're ready, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. And we'll just meet in downward dog. Right leg up high, inhale. Step to the hands. Exhale. Asana. Back heel down. Hands or back knee down, hands to the thigh. We're going to add a side bend here. Our left fingers, the same as the back knee down, are going to come out to the side as our kickstand. And we'll reach the right arm up and over. You decide how far you go, you decide if your hand is close to you or far away. The only thing you need to make sure you do is keep bending your front knee so that you still feel like your hips are moving down. Your right sit bone is still moving toward your right heel. Okay, and we'll slowly rise up out of there and just step back, either down dog to vinyasa or just stay put in your downward dog. Depends on your wrists, depends on your energy level. Okay, left leg up and step forward. Asana, hands to the left knee. Nudge the knee forward. Right hand down, left arm up and over. If your hand doesn't come to the floor, just put it on a block or a book or something. One way to ensure that it goes closer to the floor is to bend the front knee more. And it should feel like our left hip is moving down toward the ground as our left arm moves over the ear. Okay, slowly rise up. Get out of there, vinyasa or downward dog, and we will meet back in downward dog. Okay, place your right ankle on your lower left thigh. Flex your foot and just push your right knee toward the wall behind you. Take a breath and start to walk your hands back toward your left foot and bend your knee. So you wind up in flying pigeon. You just got in there a different way than what you're used to. So just take a moment here, enjoy the hip stretch, low back stretch. Get your chest as close to your shin as you can. Now we're just going to reverse. So we'll just walk forward again. As your hands walk forward, you're going to straighten your left leg. Now you're going to need to push your right knee back more so the leg doesn't slide or the ankle doesn't slide. Okay, release that right foot down. Same leg, right leg up to the ceiling, inhale. Step to the hands, exhale. High lunge, inhale. And warrior two, exhale. And let's just hang out here for a moment. Enjoy the hip stretch. Okay, let's place right hand, big toe side of foot. Left arm up. 3 breaths. Okay, that's 3. Let's rise up, inhale. And we'll go for Ardha Chandrasana. Reach the right arm forward, slide the left leg in and up. I'm just going to back up for the camera, but you're probably fine. So it's still working that right hip, but now your quads get a bit of a break. They're still engaged, but in a different way, so it's kind of relieving. Let's return to warrior two. Bend the right leg, take that big step back. Adjust your feet as needed so you have a heel to arch alignment. And either repeat the same Parshvakonasana we took before, or right hand pinky toe side of foot, which is going to be a little bit more difficult. So it might mean that you need to be on fingertips or a block, or you might just want to repeat hand to big toe side. Okay, rise up on your inhale, warrior two. Ardha Chandrasana, round 2. Slide the hand forward, left leg in and up. If you can balance here, reach your top hand for your ankle and kick. So you feel like your heel is moving away from your butt. Okay, let's all release the fingers down. We'll square ourselves to the mat and lower that left foot to meet the right foot. Inhale when you get there. As you exhale, bend your knees and fold so you're in a little ball shape. Inhale, straight legs, chest forward. And exhale into that little ball shape. One more time, just like this. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, bakasana. Into tripod. So that little ball shape is going to just help with this process because your abdominals will come online. So knees toward armpits, rock your weight forward, lift your feet. If you don't feel like going into headstand for any number of reasons, just practice jumping back from here. Otherwise, bend your elbows, drop the crown of your head to the floor, and bring your knees to your chest so you're in a little ball. And then as you feel like it, start to lift your hips and your legs up. The chaturanga out of there, you have to be aware of your head. So look forward as soon as you can. As soon as your head comes up off the ground. We'll just meet in downward dog. Okay, left leg up high, inhale. Step to the hands, exhale. High lunge, inhale. And warrior two, exhale. We'll hang out here for a moment. Oh, I lied. Back up, downward dog. We need to do the flying pigeon first. Left ankle to lower right thigh. Flex your left foot like crazy and push your left knee back. Then walk the hands back. As soon as you start bending your right knee, it's going to be a lot easier because now your thigh makes a shelf. The left knee will just drop down toward the floor. You won't have to really think about it too much. It becomes difficult when we walk our hands forward again. So let's try. Walk into downward dog. Start to straighten your right leg. And now you have to push your knee back just with your hip and brain power so the left ankle doesn't slide away. Okay, release the left foot down. Now we get to do the warrior two stuff. Inhale, left leg up. And step forward, exhale. High lunge, inhale. Open up, exhale. And just look down, check in with your feet. Heel to arch. Okay, belly in. Left hand, big toe side of foot. Lean back, so you'll feel your shoulder connected to the inside of your knee. Try to bring your chin close toward your right shoulder. And next inhale, rise up. Ardha Chandrasana. We lean forward, launch the back leg up, and try to look up again. Chin toward the right shoulder. You can see your thumb. If that makes you feel either unbalanced or it hurts your neck, of course, look somewhere else. Okay, return to your warrior two. Big step back. Doesn't mean the foot landed right where you wanted it to, so look again, reassess, adjust as needed. Okay, either repeat your Parsvakonasana from before or left hand, pinky toe side of foot. And the knee is pushing into the arm. That left hip is scooping under. This is really hard. Okay, rise up. Ardha Chandrasana side two. Or Ardha Chandra Chapasana. So we slide that right leg in and up. We get our balance. And if you're reaching right hand to right ankle, your balance has to change a little bit. You need to compensate for the leg being behind you. So you have to push your hips forward a little more. Be on the ball of your left foot a little bit more. Okay, slowly let that go. Square yourself to the floor. Land the feet together. Inhale, chest forward, slight arch in the back, and exhale, bend the knees as you fold, drop your head. Just a few times like that. Inhale, expand. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, expand. And exhale, curl in. Okay, inhale, expand. And either your bakasana or just meet us in downward dog. So those of you going to your arm balance, this time you're going to try to go to your head and return to your arm balance. So start on your hands, knees to armpits. So it has to be pretty comfy in the arm balance in order to start messing around with the head stuff. So you'll lower your head to the floor. You can either leave your legs where they are or play with lifting them up. If you've lifted them up, when you go to put your legs on your arms again, they might not land where you want right away. So take your time to wiggle them up a little higher. And we'll start to roll toward the forehead. And as soon as the head comes off the ground, we'll start looking forward and squeezing the legs into the arms. Stay as long as you want, or if it almost worked, but not quite, maybe you want to do it again. We're going to meet you in downward dog. Okay, right leg up high, inhale. Step forward, exhale. Lower the left knee down and straighten your right leg. So it's a half split preparation kind of thing. So sometimes we do the IT band stretch where we bring our toes to face the side. So we're going to start there. It's all just going to come from your hip. Just externally rotate so your toes face the right. Then with our toes, we're going to make a big circle. So start to point your toes and let them come all the way down and around so the ball of your foot comes to the floor. Now there's this crazy stretch for the front of your shin. Then start to angle your toes to the left. Keep them on the floor if you can, or as low to the floor as you can. And now there's a crazy stretch on the outside of your ankle, which will be important for something like lotus, so that you don't feel like your ankle is going to snap off. And then reflex your foot. And just do the same thing again. So it starts with that external rotation, flexed foot, and then we just make a little circle with the ankle, returning to that half split flexed foot. Okay, bend into the knee. Step back, plank. Stay here for a moment. Belly in. Tailbone reaching toward your feet. And just lift your right leg a few inches off the ground. Let's step the right foot about halfway to the hands and turn to the right for that side plank variation. We'll reach the right arm up and we'll push down with this right foot in order to get the hips up higher. If your hips start moving down here, it's so much work on your shoulder to stay in this pose. It's painful, it's uncomfortable. So use your legs, they're really strong. If your hips are high, it's a lot easier. Okay, unravel. Get out of there, vinyasa. And let's bring the left foot forward. Right knee down and into a half split. Straighten your left leg. Make sure the foot is flexed and the leg is straight, because otherwise you'll avoid some of this hip stuff. So just swivel from the hip, toes will angle to the side. Okay, ouchie. And we'll start to point the toes. They'll go through that side diagonal, then eventually they'll face front. You might even want your hand to kind of push them down, because that does feel good. Sometimes the leg won't get itself there. And start to angle the foot in and reflex. Just one more time like that. And if there's a certain spot that's feeling more crazy than the other spot, dwell there a little bit extra. Because We want one day, we want this to feel like butter. No problem. Okay, bend into that knee, step back plank. And just set up your hips, because this is another pose where if you let your hips drop, it is so painful. Painful in the back, it's too much work for your arms. So pretend you have a little belt at your waist with a helium balloon. Lift the left leg a few inches. Step forward about halfway. It's going to depend on your hip flexibility. Some of you will want to step more forward or less. Left arm up. Keep pushing the left foot down. Just take one more breath. Okay, unravel. Vinyasa. Let's step the right foot forward. Inhale, reach up. Prayer twist, exhale. So I undo the prayer. Get the arm to hook over the leg and then do the prayer again. But we'll stay here for a few breaths so that you can sort it out, so that you can get your thumbs away from your shoulder and more to the center of your chest. The way to do that is to push down and lift your chest off your leg. Okay, slowly unravel. We're going to slide our back knee forward so that it's just outside the right foot and have a seat. And this foot is about halfway past the knee. We'll twist, hook that arm outside of the right thigh, and go back over the right shoulder. So it's the same direction twist that you were just doing. If you feel like you got this twist really solid and there's not a lot of space here, this left hand might be able to reach down for the arch of your right foot. In this pose, it's very hard to know what is your right, what is your left. So it's reaching for the foot that it really doesn't have an easy time reaching for. So that one. Okay, let's slowly untwist. We're going to step into that lunge again. So the right foot's already down. Just shift your weight forward and move your left foot back. The right foot really didn't move at all for all of that time. Take your prayer twist again. So the chest and torso will come up and over. Thumbs right at center chest if possible. This time we're going to look down and step back foot to meet front foot. So we're in a twisted chair. Sit as low as you can. For some of you, that means your butt will get pretty close to your heels. And slowly unravel and have a seat. Lift the legs. Let's keep them bent for now. I'm just going to back up because I end up off frame sometimes. We're going to think knee to chest and knees together. Oh God, it's so hard. Okay, double pigeon left leg on top, because we're still then going to be twisting in the same direction. So we'll line up the shin bones, flex the feet like mad, and start to twist to the right. If you can, put your elbow in the arch. If that's okay and you want more, put the tricep in your arch. If you want more, put your armpit in your arch. Hands to prayer. And again, notice your thumbs are trying to hang out by your shoulder. Try to lift your chest up so your thumbs come to the center. At the same time, if you can deal with any more, keep letting your left knee drop. Don't get so distracted by the twist that you forgot you're in double pigeon. Okay, slowly get out of there. Vinyasa. That was a lot on one side. Okay. Let's step the left foot forward to the hands. High lunge, inhale, and prayer twist, exhale. You don't have to undo your hands to get into the twist. Do what works for you. I just know that if I don't really end up in a deep twist. I end up somewhere where I feel like nothing is happening. Woo, falling over. Okay. So we'll turn it into Ardha Matsyendrasana. We untwist. Our left foot rather, is just gonna stay there. We'll bring the right knee in and have a seat. And that knee of the right leg is about halfway past the foot. All right, twisting. If you feel like you get to a place where no more twist is happening, bring your left hand to your thigh. Use your thumb to roll your flesh in. Then you can creep your right arm a little further over. And eventually that's what will lead to holding your arch. Okay, let's slowly untwist. Your left foot is already down. Just shift your weight around that foot so that we can return to the lunge. Take your time getting into your prayer twist again. Try to get your thumbs toward your chest. And look down and step your right foot forward so that the feet touch, the knees touch. Draw the belly in and start to sit a little bit lower. It's just Pashasana prep. We're not going to Pashasana, don't worry. But you can prep it every day of your life and it would still be a hard pose. Okay, slowly get out of there. Lower to your butt. Lift the legs. And notice how the knees always want to migrate apart. Okay, double pigeon, right leg on top. Flex your feet, try to sit up tall. And then when you're ready, when it's comfortable enough, add the twist. One way to creep into a deeper twist, it's not cheating, it's just being resourceful. If you put your hand, right hand, on your left shoulder or on your left arm, you could use it as like a little pulley system. You lean and you take your right shoulder with you. We do a similar thing when we put our feet behind our head. We grab onto a different body part and use it to help us pull deeper into the pose. So try to get your torso to rotate up. Your forearms are a set length. They're not gonna be able to negotiate your thumbs to chest, so your chest has to move up. Okay. Slowly get out of there. Vinyasa. Let's bring the right leg up high. Inhale. Step to the hands. Exhale for triangle pose. So we'll just lower the back heel. You can keep your right hand either on the floor or jump it onto your foot. Slide it up to your chin. Okay, let's unravel. Place both hands big toe side of the foot and just bend the right knee. So the legs are like warrior two-ish. Let's slide the right shoulder under the knee and reach the arms out to the side like wings. You might want to drop the head. Stare at that back leg, make sure it's straight. Stare at your belly button, make sure it's drawing in. Let's keep the shoulder under the knee. Just put the hands down on the floor and lift the back heel. Either go from here to your downward dog, or go from here to Pranayama by straightening your right leg, bending your left elbow so it somewhat catches your ribs, and lifting the left leg. And you can vinyasa from there. Okay, left foot. We'll step forward. Triangle pose. Make a nice choice about your left hand so that you can feel easy breath. So that you feel your spine is somewhat parallel to the floor, not rainbow shape. Okay, we'll lower the hands, big toe side of the foot, bend the knee. Take a moment, make sure your hips are okay with this. So to get your shoulder under the knee, you're gonna bend your elbows. You might even have to use your left hand to roll the calf muscle flesh in toward your ear. And then you can reach out. Okay, so keep your shoulder wedged under there. Place your hands, lift your back heel. The hands are no different than they would be in a downward dog. So if you're stepping back, your hands should already be placed. If you're going to count in Asana, just scooch your left leg forward until it comes off the ground. Then lean forward enough to get your right leg off the ground. And the vinyasa just goes from there. You fling your legs back. Okay, let's jump through, have a seat on your butt. I'm gonna move my little thingy down here so you're closer to me. Okay, Janushirasana. Right foot to left thigh. Reach for your foot, inhale, and twist toward your straight leg, exhale. Very pleasant pose. But also that makes it a pose that we tend to kind of cheat and relax and tune out. So instead, think right armpit toward left ankle, left ribs toward the ceiling. Okay, and let's rise up. We're going to bring that right leg to a half lotus. And if that's not cool, then just stay with how you have the connection. We'll lean to the right and bring the left leg to a virasana style. So it's just folded back. Both sides. So we have our knees about mat's width. And we're going to twist to the right. Place your left hand either under your knee or on top of your knee. And reach the right arm around your back. If you're in half lotus, you'll grab your toes. If you're not in half lotus, you'll grab your thigh. And we're just looking over that right shoulder. Lean a little bit more than you think you should forward so that your left hand can anchor. And then it's like curling back through the upper back to create that upright feeling. Okay, let's slowly untwist. Right leg in front, pigeon. Left leg will just go straight back. Yesterday in Holly's class that I subbed for her, I talked about how I do my arms a lot in pigeon. So my right hand I put out to the side so that I don't roll to my right hip and end up cheating. And my left forearm I like to put underneath the sole of the foot, just so that I remember to flex my foot. It's really just mind games. Whatever you need to do with your arms to help keep you in the pose, do that. Okay, and when you're ready, cycle through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. Let's jump through, have a seat. For side two. Left foot to right thigh, Janushirasana A. If you didn't do any twist here, and you just folded, you'd end up somewhere here in the middle. So think of it as quite a dramatic twist, so that you actually sort of take this pose seriously. All my 3 cats are in the room with me today, which is very unusual. Usually at least one of them is just hanging out on the bed. And they're all, 2 are sleeping and 1 is cleaning. I love it. Okay, rise up. They don't care what we do at all. Left foot will come to half lotus. And for those of you who don't like the Virasana, folding the leg back, you can just keep it like it is, because you can still twist like that. If you're bringing your foot back, make sure the arch of the foot is just by your butt, so that you're not torquing your knee at all. We twist to the left. You can do either hand first, whichever suits you. And then it's a bit of leaning to the left, so your right hand can anchor, and curling back. Okay, slowly unravel. Pigeon, left leg in front. See that Tanya turned her video off. There might be an interesting story there later. Okay. Whenever you feel like you're even left and right for your pigeons, vinyasa. All right. So we're going to come to the hands and knees and then measure out our elbows. I'm just going to tuck the shirt in so y'all don't have to see my belly. We're going to go for Baddha Hasta A and just start lowering our knees toward our chest and then up again. So this is a whole symmetrical thing. So don't kick up. When you place your head, you're just going to move your butt back to counterbalance the weight of your legs. And take your time going up. You don't have to go all the way up in order to bring your knees in toward your chest. So when you're ready to start doing that stuff, you're just going to curl in. And you'll notice there's a moment where it's really hard. You'll stay there for a sec, and then you'll start to uncurl again. And you'll notice there's a moment where it gets easy. At that point, you can start curling down again. So you return to the spot where it's difficult. And just work in your range, whatever that is. And we'll meet in child's pose. And in this particular child's pose, let's reach our arms out in front of us with tippy fingers down. So it's like the wrists and elbows are off the ground. That's just going to get into your shoulders a little bit more. Okay, place the palms flat, downward dog. Let's jump through, have a seat. Let's bring the right foot to the left elbow crease and just sit up tall. We'll return to this place in a moment. We're just going to lay back. We'll try to keep our arms like this as we lay back. It might feel like we're falling, so you could always undo it and then redo it. So once you get down to your back, try to get your shoulders to the floor. Try to get your shin toward your chest. Take a moment. And with that left leg, we're going to help ourselves rise up to sitting again. We'll let the left leg come up over our face, and we'll do a little whipping action so that we sit up. Shoulders back, just like they were when you were laying down. Good. Okay, right leg will now come over the left. We're going to find Gomukhasana, Ashtanga, Anusara style, not Ashtanga style. So right leg is on top, and we're crossing our thighs as much as possible. Our knees are stacked. And our feet will be somewhat out to the side. If you're flexible in your hips, your shins will be kind of a straight line. If that's too much for you, pull your feet in right close to your hips. Try to sit up tall and don't lean to the left. So get your right butt as heavy as your left butt. And right arm up and over. Left arm around the back. Link your fingers or hold a strap or hold your shirt. And try to press your head back so that your throat is open. If you can handle any more in your shoulders and hips, just start leaning forward a little bit and imagine your chest moving to touch your knee. And you'll have to work then a little bit harder to press your head into your arm. Okay, slowly unravel, let the arms go, lean back enough to let the legs go. And we're just gonna find our Navasana with arms up. Then we'll go to the low boat with our arms forward. And let's just go back and forth a little bit between those places. You'll find this lift, and then you'll start to round down. It's great fun. The next time that you're lifted, we'll just release the legs and we'll do the other side. So left leg baby cradle. If it can't quite go to the elbow, just hold it some other way. But the elements are the same in that you're trying to get your shin in front of you, as opposed to over here somewhere, kind of angling off to the side. Try to get it in front. Shoulders back. And then start to lay down. And the laying down is really going to test the shoulders back principle, because you'll notice that it takes a lot of work. You have to roll your shoulders quite actively in order to get them onto the ground. And they still might not actually go, but that's the direction. Okay, so to whip that leg up for sitting, we keep it straight. We bring the right leg over the head, and we keep our core tight as we rise up. Shoulders back. Good. That was very smooth. What did we do next? Go bakasana. That's what we did next. So we're going to bring that left leg over and bring the right leg under. If that way, getting into it did not work for you, by all means, do something else to get in. If you're leaning to the right and you can't figure out how to remedy it, just wedge something under your butt. Okay, when you're ready, right arm comes under, left arm goes over. Press the head back, open the throat. Start to lean forward if you want. As you lean, your left arm is going to start to be a little heavy. Your head has to be pushing back to equalize that. Try looking further forward, that might help. Okay, slowly unravel. Let go of arms and legs. We're just going to hold the shins and curl into a little ball. Have the edges of your feet touching. And we'll just rock forward and back. No problem, the back is rounded. So let's try it out with the legs more crossed. Some of you can go lotus. Your right leg would go in first, then your left leg. Doesn't have to be that. Any crossing is fine. Then you're going to bring your knees in and try to be a tight little shape. And you'll try rocking again. Okay, vinyasa. Those of you in lotus, when you're going to vinyasa, you can come to your knees first, rock your weight forward. There'll be an extra little hip stretch. And then you can catch yourself like chaturanga and just unravel your legs in there. Okay. So we're gonna go for lotus in headstand, but if that doesn't work for you, you're gonna go for something like eagle in headstand. Eagle's where we kind of wrap one leg up and over, which will feel very much like that bakasana setup that you had. So I'm gonna face this way just for sake of camera. So let's start to come up. Just find your headstand, whatever that is. And those of you going to lotus, you're gonna go right leg toward your left hip crease, and you might have to wiggle around a little bit. Then the right knee has to move up so the left foot can come in. And whether you're in lotus or not, once you get your legs crossed as you want, you're gonna try to bring your knees in, curling into a little ball, and then up again, so that you have to work your abdominals quite a lot. And you decide what range is appropriate for you. The hip stretch is also in play right now. And after somewhere between 3 and 5 little descents, make sure you were doing both legs if you were not in lotus. We're just gonna meet in a child's pose. And again, we'll do a child's pose where our arms are out in front of us. But take your time if you're balancing out your headstand, because we are symmetrical in child's pose. We can wait there, there is no problem. Okay. Let's turn it into Anahatasana. We're going to creep our fingers forward, our butt's going to come off the heels, and we'll gaze between the thumbs. If you can, chin to the ground, maybe even chest to the ground. And keep drawing your belly in so that you don't overdo your back bend. Okay, slowly rock forward, and we'll just meet in a forearm plank. Make sure that the elbows are slightly in front of your shoulders. If it's the other way, where your shoulders are in front of your elbows, it's going to feel really strenuous and not very safe. Okay, walk the feet in, down dog B. And straighten the arms, down dog A. Okay. Depending on which way you want to face for your camera, we're going to be in Prasarita stance in a moment. We're just going to step 1 foot forward, pivot on the feet so we face the long edge of the mat and stand up. So however you want to get there. Hands to the hips, inhale. Fold forward, reach down to the big toes, exhale. Inhale there. And lower to the head, exhale. So imagine you're pulling your chest through your legs. Okay. Rise up, inhale. Samakonasana. We'll just walk the feet apart. You can keep your hands down to assist so that you don't end up snapping your legs off. Or you can lower to your butt and just visualize that you're in a straight line with your legs. Okay, Hanumanasana, face the right leg, 5 breaths. That's 1. Think of it just like your Janushirasana A. 2. In that, you need to work really hard to square your ribs. 3. 4. And 5, start to swivel around, go through that Samakonasana to head over to the left leg. This is Hanumanasana. You can have your front foot and back knee as close together as you want. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Face the long edge again, and we'll just start to walk the feet in. So you have to lean your shoulders forward and hoist your butt up in order to get the feet in. When they're in about Prasarita stance, just bring your hands to your hips and rise. And we'll just step to the top of the mat again. Let's squat for a sec, so that when we come into Ekapada Bakasana B, we have that rounded feeling. That's all. So, this is a pose that is much easier than Ekapada Bakasana A, but the getting into it is tricky because you have to really know what is your right leg and what is your left leg, where are they? Okay, let's just step to downward dog because it's kind of easier to get to from there. And we're going to bring our right foot in front of our right hand. So it's a long lunge, very weird. Our left foot, now we're going to step about 12 inches behind the left hand. So we have this little diamond shape going on. The left knee will go toward the armpit. That's your bakasana leg. You've done bakasana a million times. The right knee is going to slide over the shoulder and we'll start to creep the right leg forward so at some point it comes up off the ground. It's much more pleasant than it might seem. So try getting there. And then I want to talk about the exit. So let me see you in it first. Lisa, that looks good. Monique, we got it. No problemo. Okay. All right, so come out of it some way. And then I just want to show you how to get out of it kind of quote unquote properly. So it's this feeling of hoisting your butt. And here we are in the pose. Hang on, I gotta get there. Okay, so just watch what happens with the butt because we gotta come into bakasana from here. So I'm gonna lean forward and hoist up. And then I can jump back. So give that a try. Same leg, right leg in front. So the right leg is going to be the one where the hamstring extends out. And just try the process of getting from a straight right leg to a bent right leg. You'll be symmetrical again. But it's all that hoisting up of your hip. Oh, no head on the ground, Miss Monique. Try it again. So you'll just turn it into bakasana, which is a familiar place, but getting there is tough. Okay, let's let that go and try the other side. So from down dog, bring your left foot forward, your right foot behind. You will have to use your feet a little bit to help you get into the full position. The higher your right knee is on your arm, the easier. And then when you want to go to bakasana, hoist your hips up. I'm going to watch you. If you've tried it already, that's good. Try it again. Keep looking forward. I know it's tempting to see what is that back leg doing, but you can feel if the knee is high enough on the arm. And Jules, separate your hands a little wider. Try it again. Good, Tanya, you have this. Now lean forward more, butt up. Yes, and then jump back. Okay, good try. Landing on the elbows counts as good try. All right. Let's meet in downward dog. Shake out your head. Let's bring the right leg forward, Anjaneyasana. And just start to nudge your knee forward again. So while you're here, I'm going to show you something, but I don't want you to just sit there watching me doing nothing. So enjoy your Anjaneyasana stretch. So, just like in Ekapada Bakasana B, you have to hoist your hips up to get to bakasana. Here's your vinyasa. You have your chaturanga, you have your upward dog, your hips are low. To get to downward dog, we have to hoist our hips up. And you saw how my mat wrinkled, that's because I was dragging the toes. So every time you go from up dog to down dog, you're hoisting. Okay, change legs for your Anjaneyasana. So you wind up with the left leg in front. And that aspect of going from up dog to down dog is going to get the core really strong. Sometimes we gloss over something like that because, oh, it's a simple vinyasa, it's the vinyasa we always do. But just have a look-see at where the hips have to be. So chaturanga, hips drop, shoulders up. Now we have to use our abdominals to get the hips up so that it's comfortable in the back, so that you're not ending up with back pain. Okay, step into downward dog. And rock forward to your plank and move through your vinyasa. I just want to watch the hip situation. Okay, very good. The only thing is, Miss Lisa, your ankles were rolling a little too much. We're going to talk about that later. Yeah, they did it again. I'll be texting you later, girl. Okay. Let's rock forward to plank and come all the way down to the belly. Let's untuck the toes and click the toenails into the floor. And just notice which toes tend to be a little more firmly pressing down. Try to get the inner edge of your foot a little more firm than your pinky toe so that your ankles are not sickling. And keep that as you curl up into a little cobra. Chest forward, shoulders rolling back. And keep that as you curl into a sphinx pose. Elbows down, shoulders rolling back. Pubic bone pressing down. Let's bring the left arm in front so it's parallel to the top edge of the mat. And reach back with the right hand for the right foot. Either kick and be in a deeper back bend, opening the right shoulder, or pull your foot in closer to you and be in a deeper quadricep stretch. Just take 2 more breaths and push your pubic bone down. Keep lifting your chest up with the power of this front forearm. Okay, get out of there and just change sides. The right forearm is going to help us stay up. Otherwise, we end up with our shoulder by our ear. So reach left hand back, either kick or pull the foot in. It's like your chest is trying to run away from your forearm. That's the lift feeling. And it's that way regardless of what you're doing with your left-handed foot. Okay, slowly get out of there. Hands under the shoulders. Inhale, upward facing. Hoist your hips, downward facing. Shake out the head and neck. Okay, Baddha Shirsasana, Baddhasta, Shirsasana C. But, I'm just looking at the clock, I want us to do it with 2 legs at once. So watch how the hips shift to make room for the legs. So here we are, hands are down, my toes will point, and at some point, they'll get up because my butt just moved back. So give that a try. Even if your legs only get 6 inches off the ground, it's really valuable. And if the Baddhasta C position is too much for you, just interlace your fingers. And this might be very frustrating to go with 2 legs. If it doesn't really work out at first, it sucks. But if you just keep doing it a little bit each time, at some point, you'll have that aha moment. But until that moment, you just gotta deal with the agony. right. So yeah, you saw the bottom bit was the hardest bit. Okay. Let's meet in downward dog. That's also a lot of shoulder, that pose you just did. Let's bring the right leg forward to pigeon. And we'll have that right foot pretty close to the left hip. Right hand will be on the right thigh, and it will be imitating what it was doing on the floor when we had our forearm in front. So it's pushing us into this open chest. Left hand for left foot, and either kick or pull it in. So it's the same thing you did before when you were on the forearm, but now you have to squeeze your legs together a lot more in order to try to stay square to the top. Good. Take your time getting out of there, we'll just change sides. We might get visited by the black thing. Oh, she's almost walking across. Nope. Okay. So pigeon left leg, left hand to the thigh, right hand reaches back. She's never once made an appearance on camera. So wherever you end up with your right hand and foot, try to bring your ribs forward. Okay, slowly get out of there, vinyasa. And we'll turn our Baddha Hasta Shirsasana into Pinchamayurasana. So this one, the whole process of lifting up with two legs, for me it's crazy, but jumping up with two legs is possible. So if Pincha is fine for you to do the two-legged, or for you to attempt, you can walk your feet in a little bit. You can go one leg at a time if you prefer, and you'll do like a little jump to get your butt up. And for me, one of the tricks is, as soon as the legs get to a spot where I have a conscious thought of the balance, bring the inner feet to touch each other. And those of you who it's easy to kick one leg at a time, try the two-legged way, just so that you can be frustrated. Good. All right, and come on down. So, okay, my way up with two legs is not pretty, but look at how the knees kind of expand in relation to the hips. And I'll try to actually stick it so that you don't have to watch me struggle for 5 minutes. So I curl in a little ball first and then extend the legs up. Very similar to what you did when you were doing your little headstand curls. So a lot of you I see kicking who don't need to be kicking. So try it again. And you know who you are. And just give it a whirl. The name of the game is to balance. So don't get too overzealous that you overshoot and get stuck on that wall. And keeping the feet together does help, just the mind game of it. Okay, good. All right, so when you've tried that, then just come on down to your back. And part of the practice is trying something, it doesn't work. Are you frustrated? Are you not frustrated? We have to kind of grapple with the emotions of it and learn to not attach so much value to that end result. Okay, robot arms. Push your elbows into the floor so your chest goes up. And push your feet into the floor so your hips go up. Gently push the back of your head into the floor so your chin is not stuck at your chest. As we come down, inner rotate your thighs. It's gonna feel like you're sticking your butt out, and your butt is gonna land on the floor before your spine. There's one school of thought that you should roll down your spine, and there's another where you do it this way. Thighs roll in, butt land. You can figure out which works for you as you try both. So either repeat Setu Bandha Sarvangasana or place your hands or the Janyarasana. We'll come down the same way we did before, so you'll start letting your butt drop, your thighs roll in, so that you're still somewhat in a back bend when you land. It's not extreme, but it's not as much of a rolling down that would smush your whole spine into the floor. You wind up in a neutral. Little mouse can still crawl under there. Okay, one more time. Lift up. And slowly come on down. Whenever you wind up down there, bring your knees into your chest. And now you'll notice that a little mouse could not crawl from one side of your mat to the other. Let's keep the right leg close to us. Extend the left leg out long. And we'll change the grip. Let's go for the right hamstring. Interlace the fingers, but still pull the thigh all the way to your chest. Now start to straighten your right leg with the stipulation that you're going to keep your thigh on your chest. That means for most of us, the right leg is not going to get all the way straight. We're going to get to this point where we just start shaking. Okay, let that go. Bring the left knee in. First, just interlace on the shin, right leg straight, no problem. Then interlace on the hamstring. Your thigh is pretty much connected to your torso, and start to straighten the left leg. And where we get stuck is that I said straighten the leg, so you're in your head thinking, oh, it has to be straight, and then you'll let the thigh pop off the chest, but then it's a different situation. So when I say straight, the word is in quotes. It's just going toward that. We are not Cirque du Soleil. We just want to feel alive, and we want to feel good in the body. Straight is irrelevant. Okay, let that go. Hands to the shins. Rock and roll until you can sit up. And then vinyasa. So our last inversion is going to be either headstand or Asana with a split, which actually it could be handstand too, because a lot of you have walls. So you could do the handstand version. My cat is in my way with my clock. Oh well. So I'll just show you from Pincha, because that's kind of the middle of the road. So if you're going to Pincha and you're going to think split when you're up there, your legs are not going to be together. One will be reaching back and one will be reaching forward. So they're communicating with each other in order to know kind of where is that teeter-totter of balance, like a little seesaw. So give it a try, inversion of your choice, with the legs as wide apart as they can be. And you won't be able to see yourself, so you won't know if you're in a split, but you can know what it feels like. Tanya, you don't have to come down, but I'm not sure that your hands are interlaced enough. Your hair is kind of in the way, but we might have to talk later about hands. And change legs if you can, so that the other leg is in front. You could either come down to do that, or you could just go through the air. But you have to go very slow so that you don't lose the balance. And keep reaching your legs apart from each other. Yes. Very good. When you think you've been both sides equal time, just come on down to child's pose. All right, and then we'll slowly rise up just for Paschimottanasana. So the legs can be out in front of you, either straight, or if you're having any back issues, just bend your knees. We're going to try to hold the feet, the pinky toe edges of the feet. And we're pulling those edges back toward our face at the same time that we're pushing the balls of the feet forward. So we're unsickling the feet. And that is true of however straight your legs are. And it's true of pretty much every pose, including upward dog and the transition to downward dog. Okay, so we'll slowly rise up and we'll meet in a sitting position again. Potentially the one we did earlier where we had the heels very close to the pelvis and you have this pretty wide base. Or you can do lotus or anything else that is manageable for like 2 minutes so that you don't get knee pain in the 2 minutes. So we're just going to do a little bit of pranayama. I think we've done this style before, but we'll see. Some of you might not. So first, just breathe normally, in and out through the nose. You can close your eyes because there's nothing to see when you're doing pranayama. And just notice how long your breath is. So it might be 5 seconds, it might be 8 seconds. We're going to half that breath. Then half it again. So the inhale is still equal to the exhale, but maybe it's like 1 second inhale, 1 second exhale. And it's not a flutter breath because in a flutter breath, we're more strong with our exhale. In this one, you make them equal. And try to take 2 breaths per second. And try to do that with stillness of torso, so that you're not rocking back and forth, and with very minimal movement even through your belly and diaphragm. Maybe you can increase it to 4 breaths per second. That's very hard to do. But we're just flirting with where that transition is between breath. And if we were to do this for a few minutes, you would start to wonder if you're still breathing. Because the body gets so still. The breath is silent. You can't even feel the breath exhale on your upper lip because it's so small. Okay, slowly let that go and just let your breath return to normal. In essence, that pranayama helps us learn how to die. As does Shavasana, corpse pose. So let's meet in Shavasana. You can just unravel your legs. And a few minutes to do nothing, think nothing, be nothing. Om Bhurvam Swaha Tatsavaturinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurvam Swaha Tatsavaturinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurvam Swaha Tatsavaturinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurvam Swaha Tatsavaturinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurvam Swaha Tatsavaturinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat Om Bhurvam Swaha Tatsavaturinyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Yo Yo Na Prachodayat Take a few more breaths here. We'll meet sitting up with the eyes closed. So if you're any process you need. Let's bring the hands together. Bow forward any amount to seal in your practice. Namaste.